Righto folks, as you can see, I filled the other long bed, and today's the day that I spend a good couple of hours clearing off all this stuff on the surface and planting out my massively overgrown Day of the Triffids melons. And this is how I'll just walk you through with me as I prepare this bed. First thing to do will obviously be to get rid of these lot, find somewhere else for them to go. Not quite sure where as yet, but I'll find a spot for all this lot for the time being, and then I'll come back. Okay, and we're back. Nice and empty now. First task, I'm going to go and bucket a huge amount of water and flood this bed. So that'll be 10 or 20 buckets of water to soak as much as I can. It won't do the whole lot. It'll only be a couple of inches, but it'll start the process of absorbing and percolating water through that compost that's been transitioned in. And I'll bring you back when that's happened. Right, and there we go. One thoroughly soaked bed. 24 of these 8-litre buckets gone in this bed, so there's a couple of 100 litres in this bed, which sounds a lot but won't even make a dent. Next step is to dig the holes for the plants. I have 10 melons going in, so 10 holes it is. Et voila, 10 holes. Next step is to water each hole individually. I know this might seem a little counterintuitive after dumping 200 litres of water on the bed, but honestly that water will have penetrated only the tiniest fraction. If you look at some of the soil here or here, it's bone dry when you get down to the bottom. So, and we want these melons to have a good start because they are thirsty beasts, particularly if you want decent croppings off them. So we're going to water the hole to the top, let it percolate down. Once that's done, I will put some bloodfish and bone in the bottom of each hole and I'll bring you back. And there we are, all watered in, bloodfish and bone in the holes. Next step is to take some of this and cut a piece long enough to drape in the bottom of the hole, because you're going to plant the melon on top of it and then run it to this first crop bar. That will be the first stage. A couple of the Day of Triffids ones, the longest ones, may even be ready for the second stage, which is to go run another hemp line from there up to there. Eventually, if for whatever reason they get to this tall and need to run along crop bars, they can do, but I think it's incredibly unlikely, because if we get to a long enough season for that, once we hit this sort of height, we're going to have the maximum number of melons that each plant can support anyway. So individual string lines going up for each of the holes, and then I'll be back again. Okay, so we have the strings in. What we're going to do is plant into each of these holes, and then the ones that are big enough are going to get wrapped around it. Normally I use wires for tomatoes, so if I show you this side, these are wires, because tomatoes and cucumbers for that matter can largely support their own weight. They're quite sturdy in terms of their own basic trunk structure, whereas melons are absolutely not. If you put them on wires, you're likely to cut them into shreds, whereas with string, it's a bit more forgiving. It will wrap around and they'll be a lot better for string. So I'm just going to put these plants in now, and then I'll bring you back. And here we are, everybody put to bed. On this side you've got champagne. These are a grafted watermelon. I got these from one of the online suppliers, I can't remember which one. Then you've got cantaloupes. As you can see, these are the ones that are absolutely gone nuts. That one, I'll need to do another run fairly shortly. That one has split, which is not a great idea. So try and avoid that at all costs if possible. Some more of those. I've then got a single sugar baby, mini personal watermelons, some Garlias, and 2 red stars. I can't remember their characteristics, but I know I very badly wanted them. I'll look those up later.